Hey everybody, this is Chad from linenchad.com, and I just want to take a few minutes to quickly go over plugins, what they are, and how you can use them on your blog. A plugin is basically something you can install to your WordPress blog that will make it do more stuff. It pretty much just extends the functionality of your blog. There are thousands of plugins out there, and they all do different things. There are tons of options, and they can really take your blog from what it is to being a much different, much more functional website. To take a look at the plugins that you have and the plugins you have available, just go to the plugins area. You can click on installed, add new, or editor. The editor is a bit more advanced. It's where you can go in and edit the code for a particular plugin. So if you don't know what you're doing, I would leave that alone for now. You click on installed plugins, you'll see what's already there. Akismet and Hello Dolly are the two plugins that come with each WordPress installation. Hello Dolly isn't really a plugin. It pretty much just puts a couple lines from a song on your admin page. Personally, I delete it because it just takes up space and gets in the way. Akismet is WordPress.com's comment spam filter. It's a really useful way to keep people from putting spammy comments on your blog because, believe me, they will try. A lot of people go to blogs and use blogs as a place to send traffic to a spammy website, and you don't want to be the place they're doing that because too many of those links really isn't good for your search engine rankings, really isn't a good user experience for your visitors who try to leave a genuine comment and they have to look at 9,000 comments about how somebody lost 300 pounds in 2 days, and it's just a waste of energy for everyone. So activating Akismet is a really good way to go. You will need a WordPress.com API key, but there are handy instructions in there on how to get one, how to put it in, so it's really easy. Just activate that plugin and follow the instructions. Now, if you want to find a new plugin, if you have something that you want to add to your blog, let's say you want to put a copyright notice at the bottom of your blog so that every page of your blog will have a copyright notice so people will know they shouldn't copy your content. Well, there's a plugin for that. If you want to find the plugin, click the Add New Plugins link, and it will bring up the Install Plugins page. Now, just like the theme installation page, you can do a search, you can upload, you can look at featured plugins, popular plugins, things like that. Now, since we're looking for a copyright, I'll just do a plugin search for copyright. Search plugins. And that's going to search the plugin directory for me. Now, Blog Copyright is a very simple plugin that I use on my regular blog, so I'm going to go ahead and install that. Click the Install Now button after you read the little description. And then you can either activate the plugin or return to the plugin installer. I'm going to activate the plugin. And that brings me to the Manage Plugin page. Now, different plugins are going to have different settings. Some plugins, you just install them and they just work. But a lot of plugins are going to have settings and options and things that you need to fine-tune the way they work. The options are going to appear in different places for different plugins. This particular plugin puts its option link right here on the Manage Plugins page. Other plugins will appear under the settings. This one does both. So you have the blog copyright right here. You can click here or here to get to the options. Some other plugins will put themselves under the Tools heading. Other plugins still will make a totally separate link under here. So you'll have Users, Tools, Settings, and then you'll see the name for your plugins. So we're going to edit the options for the blog copyright by clicking the Configure Options here. And basically you can just now go through and edit the options for this particular plugin. I won't go into too much detail because the options are all different for every plugin, but generally they're pretty self-explanatory, and there is usually information on the plugin homepage, or if you just do a search for help with a particular plugin, you can usually find advice and tips for it. But right now this one's telling me based on these options, which were all preset, this is what the copyright statement looks like. So I'm going to go ahead and update the options. I'm going to go back to my blog, refresh the page, and let's see if the plugin works. And there it is. Copyright information went over onto the side. Now with this particular theme, this plugin placed the copyright notice on the side of the page. On other themes, it'll place it on the bottom of the page. This plugin is going to put the code in the same place, but the theme is going to dictate where that code actually appears. So different themes will interact differently with different plugins, and that's important to keep in mind as you make your plugin selections. Now, if you ever want to get rid of a plugin, you simply go to your plugins page, and you can deactivate it. Then, if you go to your inactive plugins, you can also delete it. Now I'm not going to delete it, I'm going to turn it back on because it's a useful plugin to have. Now, another way you can add plugins is by doing a search online and finding a plugin on a website somewhere. For example, let's say you wanted a plugin that would enable you to put your Twitter updates in your sidebar. So what you're going to want, since you're trying to put something in the sidebar, is you want a Twitter widget. So go do a Google search for So do a search, and it will come up with a number of search results. Find one that you like. You can look at a lot of different options and download. Once the download is finished, you can upload it using the plugin screen. Go to Add New Plugins, and since it's on your computer, you now need to get that plugin from your computer onto your blog. So you're going to use Upload, going to Browse. All right, there's Twitter for WordPress, so I open that up, and you're going to upload the zip file. Click Install Now. It will decompress the zip file and uninstall the plugin for you. You can then activate the plugin. This takes you to the plugins page. And then, since this plugin doesn't have any specific settings, because there isn't a settings page here, or here, or here, and because we know that this specific plugin was designed to create a widget, we'll go over to our widgets page, and we will look for the new widget, Twitter number 1. Drag that over to the sidebar, and here are the options for the widget. Once you set up the options for the widget, you click Save. So now the widget that the plugin created now appears on the blog. Refresh. There it is. Those are the two basic ways to install plugins. Usually you'll be able to do it directly from the plugin page without having to go through the upload process, but some plugins you may find out somewhere else on the web and you have to download them to your computer first. So the uploading zip option is really handy to have if you aren't familiar with something like FTP.